Hi everybody, Michael Berge with Digiday on day 3 of Possible. So we're going to keep things going here, and I'm very, very happy to have with me Seth Dallaire, who's the Chief Revenue Officer of Walmart US. I got that right?
Right. Yes.
Good. Welcome.
Thank you.
So, first Possible for you or second?
This is first Possible for me. Walmart had a presence here last year, and we got really good feedback around the speakers and content and all the different exhibitors. So we decided to bring a lot more people down here, including myself. Yeah. So it's been a great conference so far.
So, while we're on the topic of Possible, I'd love to just get some thoughts from you of, what message are you here to tell the audience and the people that you're meeting with, and what are you looking to get out of it?
So, very specifically, we're here to announce, and we announced today, as I think you know,
yes,
a new capability with our Walmart Luminate product to the insights activation which is essentially a link between the insights that you see around inventory and store events in the physical store and the digital store as well, but applying those to Walmart Connect and our retail media network.
Yep.
And that's an important launch for us. It'll be a closed beta, and then we will have a GA launch by the end of the year. So in time for our supplier partners to understand inventory positions or impact from holiday, which is huge. Yeah. And then use that as a launch pad for forecasting and more accurate and precise forecasting for 2025 calendar year.
Cool.
We've had a number of very vocal suppliers who use the Walmart Luminate data to say, hey, I love what I'm seeing in here. How do I apply that to what I'm doing with you in marketing with your owned and operated?
Going across the silos
exactly.
of how you work with them, yeah.
And how do you make it easy? So we've decided to take a self-service approach. And we're excited about it. No suppliers are excited about it as well, but there's not a lot of understanding with many just pure digital marketers or marketers in general around what that retail media, the retail signal that you see in store and how that may work or help make media investments better. So coming to Possible, we get an audience with many of those people. We get to have that conversation and explain it. And then, I've found personally that there are a number of exhibitors or people who are also attending who are in, like the measurement space, for instance. Like, it's evolving very rapidly. And so what types of technologies or capabilities are available there? So selfishly, it's a great learning opportunity for me to sort of stay on the pulse of where things are headed and understand how Walmart can be there and ultimately offer a better experience for marketers and for our customers.
Great. Well, sounds like you're a busy man here at this conference.
Yeah.
So if we could drill a little bit into the retail media network side of it, which definitely this news with Luminate and Connect touches on to some degree. The retail media network world has exploded. I mean, I'm hearing about new RMN launches from companies I would have never expected to get into the business. But as the marketplace gets more crowded, to what degree do you have to still educate agencies because of the kind of lingering silos that I think Luminate and Connect are trying to help break down, at least on the supplier side? But how much do you have to still educate, and how much do you have to sharpen your proverbial elbows to make sure you're standing out from that growing competitive set?
Well, from an education standpoint, I would say that most of the agencies with whom we interact are pretty well versed in retail media strategy now. So it's as much as there's talk and discussion around the number of retail media networks available, the capability of how a brand activates within a retail media network, I think is understood by many of the agencies. And some of them are specializing in how to do that.
Yes.
And part of the specialty is understanding how inventory positions are things that aren't traditional media inputs for a media plan will in fact impact how you plan for a retail media network specifically. So we work with a lot of those agencies and they're quite sophisticated. So I find like if we're doing a new capability that we may be launching or shipping to the industry to help them get ahead of it
Yeah.
and sort of enhance what they're normally doing or what they've historically been doing with us. I'll also share that since I've been here this week, and this I see as a trend just in the media space that retail media has helped enable, is that many brands or products that are available to be purchased in a grocery store, for instance, that are not shelf stable, have historically been not as active in e-commerce because you can't put
Right.
yogurt in a cardboard box, or you can't put ice cream in a cardboard box, or cream cheese and ship it somewhere where a customer would be happy with it.
Yeah, if you put yogurt in there, it 3 days later it's cream cheese.
That's right. So they're now those brands are stepping into the space and saying, okay, if there's a way for me now to speak to the consumer when they're in an app building a basket of goods, we know that our milk or our yogurt or our cream cheese, these are basket builders that we just historically haven't been able to promote or market because, we are in the sort of lower end of the funnel.
Yeah.
And now it's like as those lists are being built and baskets are being built, and then customers are driving to the store to pick them up, or if you're a Walmart Plus member, you're having that grocery basket be delivered to your house or your apartment, they're all in. So help me understand, how do I, specifically speak to customers to get them to drive frequency or to, get them back into the brand or do new trial if they're in the category but haven't purchased my brand before. So that part's really fun. We're speaking to a lot of those people here too.
Well, it's got to be great. I mean, you've just basically expanded your potential revenue pool by a couple of categories. Is there any category or categories that still are a tough fit or an ill fit? Because in some of my stories, I found it interesting that even travel and tourism is now kind of a growing category, or even automotive and stuff like that. Any categories that are still kind of outliers that you would love to see jump in the pool too?
No, from a retail media standpoint, if your products are on the shelf in our store or available to be shopped in the app, if they're discoverable, then your brand is in play. Like you're at the table asking for counsel. How do I make my media plan better? How do I speak to customers in these environments? So that's really everything. I think in my experience, historically, the consumers had not really been comfortable shopping for conventional grocery items online. And that behavior very much changed during the pandemic. And it didn't revert back to a pre-pandemic norm. This is now a durable behavior where customers are coming in and saying, hey, I want to order 20 different items. My traditional stock-up trip where I would go to Walmart for groceries and a T-shirt or motor oil or something along those lines when you're shopping in a big box store. And they're doing, the origin of that occasion and the planning and the actual adding to the basket is oftentimes happening in a digital environment. So anything can benefit from working with us in retail media. The services end for travel and automotive, I would say in financial services, for instance, those are pretty mature categories in the digital media standpoint. So we're focusing at Walmart really on what we would consider endemic advertisers, making sure that customers can find products. But as it's
a natural fit for what Walmart is known for.
That's right. But we are starting to try to get feedback from what we would consider non-endemic. So those categories like service categories, or where they might say, hey, here would be an interesting way that we might want to interact with the Walmart customer. How could we do that? So lots of conversations here at the conference about that as well.
Well, then I will let you get back to those conversations. Thank you for having a conversation with me.
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Seth Dallaire with Walmart US.